All right. Thank you for joining me for Coffee Talk. Um, I want to announce, I'm going to first go right into the fact we had the office closed for the last week and a half, and we've done a bunch of work here. It's very exciting, especially for someone who spends as much time in here as I do. So I made a, there it is, just something I'd like to show so everybody can see what we've been doing here. So coming in, if everyone can see this, coming in through the main entrance, you can see we've changed the flooring throughout the whole place, completely redone my office. Hey, where am I? I should be in there. Took out all the built-ins, and so this is fresh this morning. That's me with my broadcasting setup. So and you look through the rest of the office, we put hardwood, took the carpeting out of those rooms. Conference room has been redone, new TV in there, fantastic new flooring. Here's the main room. Again, new flooring, new baseboard. Well, the flooring's the same. New baseboards all the way around.
Back up.
And then same thing in here, new flooring and new flooring,
Perfect.
baseboards throughout the
Stay.
throughout. So, I mean, it's been a lot of work. There's still a little bit more to do. A little bit more. We've got to put the doors back on. And we got new door hardware to go on and all that. So it's very excited. We're happy to have some new things going on here with the office and have it all beautified and that. So feel free to come in and enjoy and work here. We love having people in the office. And all right, so let's get into some of the announcements. First, I just did one first. Secondly, Matt Weaver's event, Winning. This is a full day event. It's going to be held in Boca on October 8th. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is a full day event. So you want to make sure that you've got this booked off and plan on being there. What this is, it's a full day of speakers who are successful in this industry. A couple that are out of other industries, but nearly all of them are local, successful people. And they're going to be giving us what their secrets are, some of the secrets of their success. And here's an opportunity, again, to do some great networking, meet some great people, get some great information. And this is, to me, one of the great places that Matt Weaver provides, really something above and beyond what most other mortgage companies will provide for us. You know, hey, I can give you fast turnaround. I can get you quick approvals. But when you deal with Matt's team, you get the quick approvals. You get someone who will actually call the listing agent and work to get your deal for you. And then he puts on events like this, educational, informative events that really go a long way to helping you gain great success. So again, October 8th, put it on your calendar. There's a link that was put on our Facebook, our Facebook agents page. Here's where you can go. It was posted on the 17th of September. Go there, click on it, sign up for the event. You don't want to miss this. We want as many of our agents to be there as possible. All right, so our new Chime system, a fantastic new system. I have run into a snag with leads being pulled in to the system from Realty, rental leads. We've been able to work through this, and last night I saw leads now coming in automatically through their system, which is what we've expected them to do. So whatever their hang up was, we've got it worked out. So I now have leads coming in again, like I should have, in through Chime. And we generate a lot of rental leads here really on a daily basis. And I really don't want to give them to anybody unless they're going to come in and work in the office. So here's the deal. You want office leads, you have to be in the office. We'll call it floor time. When you're on floor time, you're answering the phone. So you get any phone leads, you get any leads that are generated through our automated systems like Realty, and I'm about to run, it's the 1st of October, so I'm going to run an ad center ad to start generating buyer leads again for the office. So when you're working in the office, you'll get full advantage of these things, as well as assistance on anything you might be working with Chime, with RedX, even with the other tools that we have. These are things that you would be able to work with me on. Marketing, when Jason is in the office, we're happy to work on marketing and branding for you as well. So sign up for floor times. The shifts are 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. or 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So sign up. How do you sign up? You send me a text. You give me a call. You send me an email. You could even You could even come into the office and say, hey, Patrick, I'd like to work floor time. However you want to get a hold of me, just let me know and I'll have you signed up for floor time. And it is the way to get leads from the office. So again, being in the office is the best way to get things set up with your chime, to get things working with RedX and start getting FSBO appointments. So again, I want to make sure everyone is coming in. I want to make sure everyone has their chime system working so they're set up and ready to get leads. And the other thing is with the ad center, I'm starting to run ad center ads. Agents should be running their own ad center ads. And these are, again, designed to pull right into Chime, automatically start communicating using the Chime AI system. And if you need any assistance getting your Chime set up, let me know. Come in. I'm here to help you with these things. The system is still new and we're still trying to get everything perfected with it. But there's plenty of opportunities. Like I said, if you want to come in, we can get everything working for you. The Exit isn't running any webinars this week, so I'm going to do my 1-minute webinar for Exit Realty right now. If you are an Exit agent, you should be looking for other agents to sponsor. Anyone you're working with in the industry is potentially someone to sponsor. Either they're unhappy with where they're at, they're not getting the attention, they're not getting the training, they're not getting the coaching. They don't have a beautiful office like ours. These are the things that we should be promoting to other agents in the field. And you would be surprised to find out how many of them really aren't all that thrilled with Remax or Century 21 or Coldwell Banker when you get right down to it. So don't be afraid to talk to people about this. The passive income you can generate, and as a sales tool, they can generate once they come on board, is one of the most powerful things you're going to find in this industry. We all should be taking advantage of sponsorship. And again, sponsorship is a numbers game. You try to get as many in as you can, and you try to keep as many as you can, and it ultimately pays off for you. So these are some exit things that we should really be taking advantage of. The sponsorship, the exit formula is, again, one of those outstanding things. All right, so let's get into what's going on in the world of real estate. Hold on, my little meeting vanished there. There you are. Okay. Give me a moment to pop this back up. It was fighting with my video earlier, so I need a second to set this up. Okay, share my screen. Okay, so if you didn't know, today's the first day of the fourth quarter. We have exactly 3 months left to make this year a great year. So what's going on in the fourth quarter? This is the question every economist is wanting to tell us. Well, we think this is going to happen, or we think that's going to happen. We've had our own discussions, and right now, this is one of the most difficult questions to answer because it's hard to follow along trend lines and other things. We most recently had a long discussion about interest rates and how important they are to the buying process, and with everything price-wise increasing in the market, how interest rates the low interest rates have really offset that, and how interest rates may be one of the biggest factors going forward into the fourth quarter as far as what's going to happen in the market. So let's start off with this first quote from Deanna Olick at CNBC. Fall is usually the start of the slower season for the housing market, but nothing is usual in today's pandemic-driven housing market. Potential home buyers are seeing a slight rise in inventory and consequently rushing back into the fray. I don't know if I'd say rushing back, but there's a lot of them in the fray, so to speak. Mortgage applications to purchase homes have jumped 7% in the last week over the last week from the previous week. That's the highest level since April this year. So there's definitely now an increased interest in real estate going into the fall season after we've had sort of a little bit of a dip through the summer. So now trying to forecast what our 2021 home sales are going to look like is quite difficult. So if we look at 2019, that's the blue line, you kind of see what is normal. So let's talk about what is normal. So 2020 wasn't normal. plain and simple. I mean, we saw the market start off normal and then tank through the spring and then rocket through the fall. There's absolutely nothing normal about what happened in 2020. 2019 maybe is the more normal year. So again, why does it look like things are starting to slow down for us as we're going through 2021? We're still running at a fairly strong pace, and it's obviously much better than we were doing last year. However, we've slowed down from where we were in the spring, and it feels like we've slowed down. The reality is we are still way ahead. I mean, in reality, 2019 was a fantastic year, a very good year, and we're still running well ahead of 2019. So perspective is really needed when you're looking at these numbers. Headlines always twist things around. They look at a bad number from last year and a good number from this year, and everything's exploding. They look at a good number from last year compared to a bad with this year, no context. Oh, things are going in the tank. So let's put the perspective on here. The perspective is 2019 was an outstanding year. 2021 is beating 2019. And when you're looking historically at 2019 sales, you'll see that, 5.53 million. It's just slightly under 2017. But really, when you look at, let's draw a line across there. We've had a better year than every other year since 2012 is what 2019 was, which was an outstanding year. So now let's look at where we are today. Here's 2019, 2020, and 2021. Do we have any idea where this is possibly going? And the problem is there's really no true way to forecast this. Even if we have, let's say, a year that just, it stays flat from where it is, we've still had an outstanding year by comparison with 2019, but the news reports will say, oh, home sales are down because we had such a robust October and November, December of last year. So another way of looking at this is, instead of looking at home sales, let's look at listings and what's been going on with the active listing counts. So as we're looking at this, we can see sort of a trend forming. Where you have your peak listing period in August, September, October, basically right at the end of third quarter is where we've seen historically the peak in listings. So now let's look at what happened in 2020. Okay, we had our peak in April, and we haven't been able to catch back up with it since then. So the challenge moving forward is now going to be to close the listing gap. So sales in the last half of 2020, you can see they skyrocketed. Now let's look at what happened also with the number of listings over the last half of 2020. They fell to the floor. So this is where we're at today. So now what's going to happen next? Are we going to see listings peak in August? Are we going to see them peak in the future? Well, this is where we are today. Listings are very low. They're trending up. Sellers want to get back into the market. They're looking at the higher prices that they can get for their homes, want to take advantage of this of the current situation. But we don't know really where is it going to go. There's obviously three options here. The trend can follow trend line one, and that's where we're going to see an increase in listings. We'll see an increase in business. A two, if we see it stay flat, it's going to be, well, again, a good year, but really hard to say how much it's going to grow. And then obviously if listings tend to fall off, the business will get tighter and sales will fall off. So there are reasons to believe that listings will continue to increase throughout this fall. And the first one, the biggest one, is the pent-up selling demand. Homeowners may be more comfortable now putting their homes on the market as more Americans have gotten vaccinated and COVID is sort of dying off, you might say. New constructions are now starting to get caught up with where they had been. I mean, we knew a year ago that they had fallen off significantly, and now this year they're finally starting to catch back up. And the last one here, the end of forbearance will create new listings. Again, we've talked about this a number of times. I don't think this is going to be a huge number, but I do think it's going to be a positive for us in the market. So again, I haven't really discussed how are interest rates going to affect all of this, but without a doubt, interest rates are also going to be a factor in this. If they start to go back up significantly, then that's a trend that we'll see will tamp down buyers without a doubt, because it pushes that payment up for them. So dovetailing from that into where we are today with interest rates, from Bankrate this morning, a 30-year 0-point mortgage, best I could find was 3.249, 3.25%. That's up 0.25% from last week. Last week it had dipped a little bit from the previous at 3.115. So we're in a market where we're kind of seeing, I know we're bouncing off the bottom of the market of the rates, but really there is no place for them to go but up. It's really a question of how soon will they start going up. So with that one, I'm seeing at 3.25, 15 years at 2.375, which is up 1/8 from where they were last week. So we have seen interest rates tick up a little bit. That also ties back in with the statement at the beginning of the presentation that home mortgage applications have risen 7%. So as mortgage applications rise, that is one of the factors that should be pushing interest rates up slightly. 10-year bond is another one. What's going on in the money market, inflation. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it. But mortgage applications picking up, higher demand will ultimately increase rates as well. So couple last things I wanted to mention. The RAPB is running classes as they always do. Couple of them to check out. Tuesday, October 5th at 1 p.m. They're going to be having their FAR Bar 2021 changes. So November 1st, there will be changes made to all of the contracts. This is a normal procedure that they go through, but this is a way that you can kind of get a heads up and see what's out there and what changes have been made that obviously will affect you as you're writing contracts going into next year. Also, on October 7th at 10 a.m., I like this one. This is a 2CE class. Who Owns That Property is the name of it. A guide to wills, trusts, and probate. So again, this, especially in our market, not that it doesn't happen in every market in the country, but we do have an older population. Selling homes for people who've deceased is really a common thing that we do down here. Knowing the ins and outs of wills, trusts, and probate is very beneficial to everyone. So again, here's a great class I recommend for everyone. Exit does not have webinars announced for this upcoming week. If they do, you will get emails on them, and I will also send information on those as they come out. Lastly, the office, we are back to normal operations. Come visit me anytime you like. Schedule your time for floor time and get in here and get some leads and get some business going for you. And look forward to seeing you here. Lastly, join me next week, Friday, for Coffee Talk at 9 a.m., where I will do my best to give you as much information about what's going on in the real estate industry.